to VPE Thursday. And as you know, the link that you clicked on, we're talking to Erik, who is an expert in constant contact. And this session is reaching your customer through email marketing. So go ahead, take it away.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope everybody can hear me well and can see the slides and is enjoying this nice day, Thursday afternoon here. We're almost towards the end of the week, but perhaps for you, that means almost the start of the exciting part of the week, perhaps. I don't know. So anyway, let's get rolling here. Just quickly about me, so you know who I am, is I'm a longtime partner of Constant Contact. I've been a local expert and trainer for them for over a decade. And I have taught over 300 classes on digital marketing. And I also have my own digital marketing firm called Endorphin Digital. And we specialize in strategy, websites, SEO, and advertising for all types of professional services and Main Street type businesses. So we've been doing this a while, and the one reason I do like working with Constant Contact is because for those of you that may know Constant Contact a little bit, may have heard the name, they started the email marketing industry back in like 1987. I can't even believe people were sending emails like this back then, but that's when they tell me they started. But ever since then, they've been sort of expanding into new and different things. They're quite a big company, and they realized, obviously, well, social media is important and automation's important and getting feedback from customers, so surveys and polls and maybe event marketing or things like that. And then it's advertising and websites. And so you see they have an awful lot of tools, and now it's pretty much all you need to manage really sophisticated digital marketing campaigns. So you could build a website, you can do e-commerce, there's a logo builder, all this sort of stuff. And if you want, you can also have help from some expert like us, like our firm. So what are we going to talk about today? So some of you, I think, some of the younger people are probably like, why email marketing? That's sort of old school. Well, it is sort of old school, but it still works. And for those people that are working for businesses and that sell to other businesses, especially, that email is it's kind of a necessary evil. We all use it because there's not that much out there that can replace it. Social media is good for some things, but, not for private communications, right? And maybe there's texting and, some other stuff, but email is still really important, and it still really plays a valuable, important role in marketing. And we'll talk about that in terms of why it's still so useful. And then we'll start to get into sort of how do you do it well? And then an important part of this is sort of measuring your success, and sort of corresponding with that is how to do it better. So that all leads back to data. And so we'll talk about data. And that's one thing I really like about digital marketing is that, we do have a lot of feedback and tools to measure our success and then we can learn from that. So that's really important stuff. And when it comes to marketing, whether you're a big business or a small business or a new business or an older business, email marketing should be an important part. And so we're going to talk about this. So just real quickly, I believe this session is being recorded, and we will share with the VPE and MR. We will share these slides so you can get these slides. There's a number of links to some valuable resources that you may want to check out after this, a couple of ebooks and things like that. So we want to make sure, that you have that. Okay, so first thing, why does email work? And for smaller businesses especially, is that you've got a very distinct advantage over much larger businesses. And what that advantage is your direct connection with your customers. And you should take advantage of this. You know, people still like to do business with other people. They like to do businesses with companies that they like. That's why customer service is so incredibly important. And so email helps you speak directly to these people. It's more personalized than social media. And this, again, is important because we want to, build and extend and solidify our relationships with our customers as much as we can, so that when they, think of who they need to buy their propane products or their gas or other fuel or whatever, they think of you first, right? We want your name on the top of their mind, okay? And email will really help you do that. So one other thing about email is, we've all got these wonderful contraptions here that are attached to our bodies 24 hours a day. And pretty much the most used app in on your phone is really to do email. And again, we may not like that fact. We may hate email, but it's still a very valuable tool for communications. And it's a very powerful tool to open that line of communication with your customers. And so we want to make sure we use this. So the ROI, the return on investment of email marketing is very significant because it's cheap. It's very inexpensive to send hundreds and hundreds or thousands of emails out using a tool like Constant Contact and drive sales. And those sales are going to be as much as 40 times what you spend on something like Constant Contact, you're going to get back. So, the math works quite well to justify the cost and the return. So the other thing is it is a more direct and firmer line of communications with your customers than is social media. This shows most emails that you send are going to get into that inbox. So they're going to see them eventually one way or another. Whereas, when you post things on your news feed and Facebook or, whatever other social media application you might use, it's a very small percentage of people that see those. So, yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't be on social media. You certainly should. But email is one part that is very important, again, that you shouldn't. So a little more research here that we've done shows that there's some significant other data points that show how valuable it is, okay? So, if you look at the item number 4 there is 81% of online shoppers who receive emails based on previous shopping were at least somewhat likely to make a purchase again, okay? Very high number, and we're going to talk about automation in a few minutes. And that's a very big part of email. So for those of you that may be using some email marketing now, I want to give you some tools to think about to take it to the next level. So we want to we want to address things to people that are newer to email marketing or not using it. And then we'll talk also to more people that are already using it, and we'll give you some more powerful stuff so everybody can learn something here. Okay. So again, the economics of email, the use case of email is very powerful. And I think hopefully this is confirmed here now. So, right. So we take like kind of a 5-step process here to make your business as successful as possible using email marketing. So first, we want to plan a little bit. We want to think about, okay, if we're going to send, one email out to all our customers once a week or once a month or whatever it is, we've got to sort of plan a little bit in terms of, okay, what are we going to say in those emails? What are we going to do to make them interesting and worthwhile for, you guys as you create them, but also for your customers, obviously. So when they get them, they look at them, they read them, and they keep reading them. We want to also, number two, is we want to design these emails for kind of today's audience, meaning we want to make them simple, quick reads. Again, most people are going to open an email in their phone, at least a good portion of people. So we want to make them very mobile friendly. We want to make them, the appearance, the visual part of them is very important, right? Because we've got to capture their attention in a very quick amount of time. And we'll talk more about that, but that includes, the subject line and who we're, the name of the person we're sending it from, the images we use, the links we use, and all that. So we really want to use sort of a simple email, but then use links in it, right? So number three is create emails to drive action. So what's the action we want people to take when they open our email? Are we giving them some sort of like a video to watch or an article to read or a coupon to download or something else of value to get them to do something? We'll talk a lot more about that in a minute. And then, of course, we want to measure the business impact of these. What are we, again, we're trying to drive action. We're trying to drive sales, right? But there's other things we can drive. And again, we'll talk more about this stuff. So again, we got to kind of plan this out, know what we want to do in advance. And then, email is just a tool to kind of make that happen. Okay. The fifth point is very important. It's the ongoing quest to kind of grow your email list. Okay. We don't want to, just collect all the email addresses we possibly have and then put them in our account and clobber these people with incessant emails. We want to give people the option to receive our emails. We want to give them the option to get off and the list and not receive them anymore. We want to continually add new email addresses to that list. So we keep improving that and keep adding the new people we're meeting and their new customers to this list. Okay, so that's really important. So you want to think about how you do that. And then the final point is just links within your emails are kind of that magic sauce, right? That's the stuff that makes things happen. And that's really important. Okay, so again, it's not just this little email of text that we're sending. There's a lot more to it. And so those are, we got to understand that. So speaking about building your list, this is something that a lot of people don't really think about too much. Here's a really good short ebook from Constant Contact called Building Your List Can Be a Thing of Beauty. It's just a short guide that has some really good tips on how to build your list. And there's some, pretty sophisticated ideas here, in terms of adding, landing pages with special offers and tie them to your Constant Contact account. So, contact information goes right in there and, things like that. So I'm not going to go through all these items right now because this is sort of a side note to what we're talking about. But I did want to add this into today's presentation because I think that's a really valuable topic and I think it's a really useful tool here. So again, you can just click on the book cover here or this link up at the top when we send you these slides and you can get that. And again, I think it's very worthwhile. So let's talk about, choosing that message. What are we going to say in these emails? And so, first thing about marketing, which is so plain, is that the content should be about them, not you. Easiest thing in the world to say, very difficult to do. And that's where marketing sort of often falls down, is because, the best marketers are going to be, they're going to know their customers well. What's driving them today? For example, 2020, we had a bit of a change in the way we all operated our lives, didn't we? Well, did you take advantage of this change in our lives? I'm talking about the pandemic, to change the way you market your products and services. Your customers changed. Did you change? So what we want to think about is 80% of all this content that we include in our emails and social media and all this sort of stuff should be valuable content, interesting, useful stuff, interesting to your users. Not necessarily what you want to promote, but interesting to them and their needs right now. 20% should be promotional stuff, okay? Coupons, special offers, whatever, that kind of thing. So that would be a very good sort of guideline in terms of what sort of content do I create. So you get a lot of questions about how your business operates, right? Who do you help? When are you open? Who are your typical consumers? Blah, 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 all this kinds of stuff. Those sorts of questions make great content, right? And so those can be very useful when you get these similar kinds of questions about, how you operate, what kinds of products and services you sell, et cetera. That's the kind of stuff that you can turn around and use as content, because if one person's asking you, it's really likely that other people have that same question. So the more questions you can sort of knock down, then the easier it is for customers to come and buy from you. The other thing is, in email, we've got that subject line, which is sort of that super valuable, very short space in an inbox to get people to click on it, right? So the subject line has to be really compelling. And so again, you've got to make it about your customer. A couple of tips should be, make it 5 to 8 words long, so not very long, but not short either. Try and include some numbers, right? Some, 9 out of 10, dentists agree, right? That Crest is good, or whatever it was, Colgate. But, include numbers, because that shows there's some specificity in what you're saying, right? It could also be sort of 3 tips for, 5 tips for, that kind of thing, for this, for that, kind of thing. And then sort of, there's also scarcity, right? We've got a sale that's closing tomorrow, get your thing now, right? Get your discount now, or whatever. So you want to think about those kinds of things in your subject line. Now, one other important thing to remember is, we talk to customers about this and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to write stuff. Right, of course. So you can use some other tools, right? So, as I said before, you can do surveys and then share this data out afterwards. You can share industry news or vendor news. You could do interviews or show testimonials or things like that. There's all sorts of different things that you can create that address or deliver what you want to deliver, okay? So that's where there's some creativity obviously comes in hand. So then we want to make those emails, and this is kind of a branding tip, right? We want to make those emails look like our website, which look like our store, which look like our business cards and our delivery vehicles and our stationery and our packaging and all that, right? We want this branding to match. So when somebody sees our website or an email or social posts or an ad, they know exactly who it's from right away. So, this is something really to be cognizant about, right? We want to send the right message. This branding goes quite in depth because certain colors mean different things, right? So think about that. And again, in email marketing, we want to use images as much as possible because images, convey something much more quickly than does text, right? So, and then use video if you can, which is even better than pictures, which is better than not having pictures, right? So, short, good images, short, good videos, things like that explain what you want to say. And people are obviously very interested in watching videos. So that's something that's really, really useful. The other thing, obviously, again, is we want to make everything mobile friendly. And that's easy to do with Constant Contact or things like that. Okay, so we don't have to talk too much about that. Now, so that's the 80% part, right? That's the talking about our customers, addressing their needs, their interests, that kind of thing. Now, the 20% part, we don't want to neglect that either, right? Because people do want to get a deal. They want to feel like they're getting a deal. They want to save money. So if you can offer some sort of promotion, there's a lot of value in that, right? So whether it's, for new customers, you can, give them a free trial or a free demo or whatever it is. Maybe it's, a frequent buyers, frequent shoppers club. Maybe it's a buy one, get one free. There's all these different kinds of promotions and you want to use those for, either enticing new customers or getting customers to try other types of products that they may not know that you sell or other services or getting, getting existing customers to buy more, right? Or buy different things. Okay. So lots of things to focus on here. And here we want to think about e-business, right? We want to take advantage of e-business or online business as much as possible, right? We know now, obviously, over the last year that, people are, they're stuck at home, they're shopping online. So, your website should be, up to date and attractive and functional and useful. But beyond that, what else can they do on your website to sort of, go further on, right? Can they make purchases through there? Can they contact customer service? Can they order service, order deliveries or whatever it is, or that kind of thing? So, as you think about how do we improve, in 2021, these tools to make all this happen are much more readily available than they were, last year and 5 years ago and things like that. So you can do all this online in many cases for no additional cost, right? So it's very easy to do some of these things. And again, today, especially after what's happened over the last year, we know that people do shop online a lot. And so as much as we can do online, we should be doing that, because if we're not doing it, competitors may be doing that, okay? And if they have a choice between you not doing that, but your competitor does, and it's pretty comparable, that could be what swings the sale and you might lose a customer. So let's talk about this sort of go back here real quick. We want the think about sort of what we want to happen and then getting things to happen. And in between there is sort of this sort of call to action, right? Or how do we get people to then take the next step, okay? And how do we get them to take the next step and do it online? That's really what we want to think about. So, first off, we want to get people to click more on things, right? Click more to go visit our website, click more to buy something, click more to schedule a service call or a meeting or whatever. So, but using buttons creates 45% more action than just using links in text, right? Simple, but this has been proven. This is from Constant Contact doing tests, and this is what happens, right? So we want to make sure we use buttons. Some of these things are pretty simple, but we want to, if we put these all into effect, it will make a difference, right? We want to avoid too much text. You look at that email on the left, and I don't know about you, but I'm not reading all that text, right? Unless I know exactly who it's from. And even then, I'm probably not gonna read all that text. So an email on the right, far fewer text, far better branding, more clear step or to the next step, or more clear call to action in terms of using a button for the next thing. It really makes a difference, okay? So we want to think about this call to action, right? We want to, in our email, we want a single call to action. Buy this thing now. Schedule a meeting with us now, right? Use actionable language when you're talking about this, when you're guiding people towards that step. Make it easy for them to do that. Make it sort of above the scroll, so that, so people aren't scrolling down to see where they click, and use buttons. Okay. Now, so here's an example, right? So we, got a couple of different ideas here, or calls to action in terms of what we want to happen, right? This is a studio, right? A yoga studio. So they want, the call to action is view the schedule, right? Another call to action might be, buy 5 classes for the price of 4 right now, things like that, right? So this is the type of action we want to make, right? And now, how do we do that online? Well, there's really good tools to do that, and to make it as easy as possible, because we want people to go through the whole process online themselves. And there's a variety of reasons for this. Okay. And again, it goes back to links are that magic sauce, because we want to get them to go other places. So for example, we might want to have them link to a survey, right? And surveys are great tools to get feedback, and great tools to segment your contact lists, right? You're going to be more successful the more you segment your lists into smaller lists that are divided up into more homogeneous groups, right? Because then you can speak more directly to them. Hey, you are our long-term customer. You typically buy, our monthly service. We'd like you to buy that monthly service again, starting now. And we're going to give you a deal, right? So that sort of direct email connection to these people, that's what's going to be very powerful. And here's one way to segment those lists, okay, is by their own feedback. Another thing is, I don't know if any of you might do this, but what you might do you may be doing an event, right? Or you may, want them to sign up for a service or whatever it is. But we want them to be able to do all this and pay online right now, right? If they have to go and get their, credit card and then call you and whatever, or drop something in the mail, it's just not going to happen, right? They're going to get their credit card, pay for it right there. Boom, you got the money, okay? So we want these things to happen. We want to give them these tools to make this online commerce happen for them immediately. Even better, you can give them an offer with a clickable coupon that, and this is another constant contact tool, that sure, it's a coupon, but here the difference is this is e-commerce, because you're actually getting the money for something that you're selling to them to give them 25% off something. It's not like a regular coupon where they would print it out and then go, to your store or your business and then get whatever, exchange that for the special offer and then pay then. It's not that. The difference here is that people are buying the offer now, you're getting the money now, and then they're going to come in and get the, product or service. Okay. So again, we want to take advantage of e-commerce as much as possible so we can get money in our pocket a sale today. A sale today is much more valuable to me today than a sale tomorrow. So let's do that. Let's use e-commerce and let's drive people to buy things and get things done today. So how are we going to measure success? And more importantly, how are we going to measure the performance of whatever we're doing here in email or online to learn and see how we can improve? How can we get better? So there are all sorts of things you can measure. Yes, obviously we want to get people to give us money for our products and services. That's the ultimate thing. However, there's a lot of things, steps in between that can lead to more business, right? So things like more opens to our emails, more clicks on links in our emails to other places, some event registrants, some registrations, completed forms, coupons, whatever it is. These, as we measure them going forward, compared to other things that we try, right? Other emails that we sent with other special offers, then we can see what is best, what works best for our particular customers. Because your customers are different from, everybody else's customers on this call. Yeah, you may sell similar things, but you're in different regions. You might sell at different price points. You sell different products and services. You do things a little differently. So everybody's audience is going to be a little different. And you want to know what works for your particular audience. So you've got to measure it, okay? And this is the part that people don't pay enough attention to generally. They don't sort of intentionally set things up so they can measure the clicks or measure the event registrations or measure the service calls or consultations or quotes or whatever, right? So we want to do this, and over time, over 6 months or a year or whatever it is, we're going to get better at doing this because we're going to look at the data, we're going to learn what works, what didn't work so well, we're going to try a bunch of things, and over time we're going to get better. So that's really important. Okay. Again, different things to measure that are going to lead to more sales. But these are things you can measure more quickly and that they're going to lead to more sales, right? So again, do focus on some of the different kinds of things, right? Another thing that we're not talking about here, a little bit outside the topic, but is our website visitor numbers, right? How many people come to our website each day, each week, each month? What pages do they visit? How often are they on a page? Are there anything that we're learning from this? Are they all leaving from one particular page? Are they, do a lot of people come to the website and just leave right away and don't visit really any other pages? All of this sort of stuff, this data tells you exactly what your customers want. And you just have to know how to measure it and what that data means. So for example, here, going back to the topic of email marketing or email communications really is open rate, right? So we want to know who opens our emails, how many people open our emails. Well, in Constant Contact, this is included in the reporting feature of this so that you can see all of the emails you've sent and all of the open rates for each of them. So you can compare. We going up, we going down? Are we like up and down? Sort of different ones get different rates. More importantly, this data really digs down. It's kind of a little bit scary, but like right here, when these numbers are blue, you can actually click in and you can see who opened your email. Wow. Well, now we can start to consider segmenting our list because we can take all the people that opened that email, put them into a separate list, and boom. Now we're talking to people that are interested in whatever we got them to click on that in the first place. Now we know they're interested in that, and now we can focus on that. So there's some really interesting and powerful things about the data that is available, right? Similarly with the click-through rate. And that means, so Constant Contact, with every email that Constant Contact sends out, it knows the links that are in that email. And when somebody clicks on any of the links in your email, it's going to record that. It's going to show you. So this, when you click on the click-through rate, if it's a blue number like that, click on that and it's going to show you all the links, all the clicks for all the different links that were in that email. Okay. Again, very interesting data and information that we are collecting from our emails, right? We can see, what do people find most interesting? What are they interested in? Interesting stuff. So this is the data stuff that I really like. So let's talk a little bit about email automation. So one thing that is particularly interesting to me is that automated email messages have a much higher open rate and click-through rate than your typical, monthly email or weekly newsletter kind of emails. Why is that? You would think they would be less because they're automatic, right? Something happens and then an email goes out. So you'd think that the people would disregard those much more, but in fact, it's the opposite. They click and open those emails at much higher rates. And it's because there's an event that happened that triggered that email. And again, I think it's counterintuitive, but people expect when they, join an email list, when they buy something from a website, when they buy something from anywhere, when they call for a quote or something like that, they expect some sort of confirmation email. And they want to check to make sure, like, well, what did you send me? You're confirming our appointment, or you're, thanking me for a visit, but you're sending me something and I'm going to check that. And the rate at which these automated emails are opened is much higher. And again, this is very powerful information. So we know people are going to open these automated emails. So how can you take advantage of that fact? The other thing is that it's 77% of the ROI that you get from email marketing. So you get most of the value from email marketing from these segmented, targeted, and triggered or automatic campaigns. It's not from, taking all the emails that you have and throwing them into Constant Contact and sending out a newsletter every day, week, month, year, whatever. That's not where you're getting the value. The value is from segmenting the list. It's from targeting your messages to those segmented groups. And it's the automation that you can get. That's where you're getting almost 80%, almost 8 out of 10 points of that ROI comes from that. That is just so important and so powerful. That's how you need to use email marketing, okay? We actually have some really interesting stuff about email automation and automated emails and all that stuff on our website, and I can talk a lot more with this. We do a lot of work with this with our clients. But here's 5 examples to show you when you might use an event-driven autoresponder series, okay? When you would have these kinds of things, because it is kind of a weird thing, scenario, if you will. So for example, you get these from like Amazon, right? You order something from Amazon and then they're going to start sending you emails that tell you about other products or services that are similar to what you just bought, right? Or complementary to what you just bought, okay? So people expect that, right? The other thing is if people sort of, inquire, send you a question, call with a question, whatever, or they download something from your website, they probably expect to get an email from you because now we know they want something. They've contacted Onboarding new customers. This may or may not be relevant to some of you, but new customers expect some service, right? In many cases. So we want to reach out to them and say, hey, if you have any problems with our products or services, here's who you contact. And we want to help you, make you a happy customer and all that, things like that. I don't know if there's any nonprofits here, but if people make a donation, then sending out information about that kind of stuff, right? About how you use their money. And then a really important, powerful one is, salespeople go out and call on a potential customer, and they're competing with other companies that, provide something similar. It's after that salesperson meets with somebody, then sort of this follow-up, this automatic follow-up to that person, lead nurturing basically is what it is. That's a very, very good example of email marketing, automated email that works very, very well, right? Because it makes sense. We want to meet with a potential customer. We want to tell them that we really want their business. We want to tell them all that we can do for them. We want to show them, that other customers are happy with us. We want to stay in front of them over a long period of time so they remember us, all that sort of stuff. Email's perfect for that. Plus, it saves you time when it's automated, right? All you got to do is create it once, set it on automatic, and boom, you don't have to do it anymore. And it's going to generate sales for you. So those are good examples. There's a great book on our website. We have I go through it in a second here. I'll give you a link. But we have a lot of free stuff on our website, and we have a free ebook on 25 things you can automate at your business. Okay. So talk about some of that stuff in a minute. So anyway, we're almost done here. A couple of quick things again, sort of in review. 3 things, right? You want to write down your goal, right? With your sort of your email marketing, right? What are we trying to achieve? Whether it's with all our email marketing or a single email, are we trying to get 50 coupons sold? Are we trying to get 100 new customers or 5 new customers, whatever the number is? Or what's our goal? We're going to figure out some sort of call to action, some sort of special offer to give people. And we want to make it online as much as we can so they can do it whenever they get to it, whenever they find it. And then we want to measure and evaluate the results and see, okay, here's what we got. Is it what we expected? Did we reach our goal? Did we blow our goal out of the water? Did we, what does this tell us, right? What can we do better next time? And then lather, rinse, and repeat. You keep going, you keep doing this. So, new offer every month or whatever it is to keep driving new sales. So here's another good guide from Constant Contact, some of the information that we talked to today, but some more examples and things like that. Getting started with email marketing, 10 ideas that really work. Again, just click the link here or click the cover of the book and you can download that for free. Again, we just want to share these resources for you to kind of help you become successful. Our company offers a couple other things. We, like I said, we've got, like I said, there's a whole bunch of ebooks and guides kind of thing that are on our website that are all free. There's a link to that. We actually do free digital marketing consultations. You can click there to get that. And we also do free website audits because we do a lot of that kind of thing. So you can find out that. Here's sort of this special deal that we were able to get together for the virtual propane expo, which we're really excited about. We think this is a fantastic deal. So you can get up to 25% off the regular pricing for if you're a new customer. There's another special, which is 30% off the first 3 months. So you get that on top of the other discount. We can design a branded, reusable, customizable email template that matches your website. We do that for free. If you're already using Constant Contact, you do get some of these discounts as well. There's a dedicated customer service contact at our company for you. And then we've got a hand picked a list of training videos from Constant Contact that we give to our new customers. So great deal. You get all this sort of stuff. And so that's kind of the special offer. Again, we'll send you all these slides. You have all the details. If you have any questions, please let me know. And you feel free to email me as well or call me. Here's my contact information. We will be teaching classes with the VPE on a regular basis. And I hope this was useful, and I hope to see you at another webinar. So thank you very much.
All right. So Erik, if you're a newbie, are you available to help them for a fee to get started for newbies?
Yeah, absolutely. And for the basic starter, we'll pretty much do everything to get you started pretty much at no cost. So, you know, we do a lot of stuff to get you to help you to send that first email out and make that email really good. You know, we want to see you be successful. We know that this isn't necessarily the easiest topic. You know, digital marketing is kind of weird. We're definitely here to help, and we'd love to speak with you. We're happy to do like a free demo too, to kind of walk you through the Constant Contact or whatever else. We're happy to help. Yes.
I'm new to Constant Contact since I've been involved with VPE, and you can get started. Like once you get the layout, I find more things that I can use. So I like Constant Contact. I'm not going to say the other ones that are out there, but I prefer Constant Contact. I find it a lot more user friendly. So that's great that you have the support and you have a great product. So okay. Thank you. And we'll see you next month.
I'm looking forward to it.
You're so fantastic. Thank you so much. And everyone it's Thursday, so have a great weekend if you get to start off early. If not, have a great Friday.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.